Hi everyone, my name's Katie Bardsley. Thank you for tuning in to Education and Technology. So before we get into our current technology, let's take a step back, way back. Before the printing press. Before the printing press, there were universities. They were getting popular. They were increasing in number, but in order to get materials to them, you had to handwrite every word on every page, on every book, and then travel it over to the university itself. A lot of time and a lot of work. So Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1450, and yes, this changed everything. You could now get books, specifically the Bible 5 years later, to be copied so much more quickly. And of course, technology improved, yada, yada, yada. You can get books mass-produced, traveled anywhere in the world by snail mail, right? But this changed everything. People learned how to read. People learned how to read mostly through the Bible, which kind of became a problem for religion or the powers that be, because when people learn how to read, they start to think and they start to analyze. And as educators, this is what we want, right? We want people to think. We want people to analyze. And however, some people don't. Martin Luther, right? He was one of the proponents of, hey, everyone needs to read the Bible in their own language that they can understand. Thanks to him, there was the huge divide from Catholicism. Good or bad, that's for you to think critically about. But people in power were a little bit upset by this. The internet has changed the world similar to the printing press. Think about it. Information at a moment's notice. Okay, it may take a minute to get there, but you don't have to print it. You don't have to take it by snail mail. It takes minutes to get there. Obviously, we have come further in our development of the internet, so it takes seconds to get there. Seconds to go across continents, right? Amazing. So how are people using the internet? Well, they're using it to study. I mean, sometimes. And they're not using it to learn how to read. Most people already know how to read. That's not a big deal. What they are learning it for is they're learning subjects. They're learning science. They're learning math. They're learning history, right? All because it's available on the internet. So as educators, what's next? Is it AI that's next? This is the hot button topic, right? Well, AI can be used to help tutor your students. It's not perfect, but it can help. It can be used to synthesize things. Hey, I've got these 4 reports. How do I put them together? Right? Or as a professor, this might be the most important. It's useful to help information be accessible to students it would not normally be. Students with disabilities, right? This could be the branch that opens up education to more people, to allow more citizens to think critically. We all know just because they have a disability does not mean they cannot think, they cannot be productive. AI can help transfer your lectures into something that's accessible, something they can understand. So don't write it off, but join us next time for how to do this with your lectures. References, great textbook. Also figures, they're underneath the figures, or stock images by PowerPoint. Thank you for coming.